1 flies your way next from Space City. It's the debut of #1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence. And we'll see if he launches it in Houston. The Jags and Texans take flight next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, everyone, Brandon Gaudin, so happy to be with you to kick off this much-anticipated 2021 season. With me in the booth as we begin our 6th season together is, of course, Charles Davis. And, CD, so much to watch for coming up. What are you keeping an eye on?
Well, Brandon, I'm ecstatic to be back with you, of course, and we've got a good one right here out of the gates. I'm interested in seeing some of the changes in 2021. Running backs and wideouts, even linebackers wearing single-digit numbers. But even more than that, I want to see the changes defenses have made, because last year we averaged 49.6 points per game. That's the highest ever by 3 full points. Can these defenses make an adjustment and start to catch up?
Yeah, passer rating, CD, an all-time high. Completion percentage also an all-time high. So as you said, will those numbers continue to climb northward, or will the defenses adjust? And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. For the first time, the Jacksonville Jaguars set to go here on offense, led out by the new face of the franchise, the #1 overall pick, of course, from this year's draft. It's Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson.
And I just don't think there's any way to overhype Trevor Lawrence's impact at Clemson. How about these amazing numbers? Over 10,000 yards passing in his 3 seasons as a starter, a 90-17 touchdown interception ratio, and he even ran for 18 scores. Not to mention, won a national championship as a freshman and made the college football playoffs his other 2 seasons.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. And they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. .35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Texans set to take over on offense, and we see them led out by their veteran quarterback in his 11th season in the NFL, but first in the Lone Star State, Tyrod Taylor.
His athleticism in college was never in question. In fact, many NFL scouts thought he might be better suited to play receiver, but always believed in himself, always wanted to be a quarterback, and continues to prove his worth at that position in the NFL.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. Tackled there by Rayshon Jenkins.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know you're trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. On second down, Johnson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Now Lawrence on 1st down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. And that is incomplete.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress. And I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
On 3rd down, Lawrence to the left side here for Eifert. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Lawrence going to throw again. He'll find his man, Laviska Shenault. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A nice completion there for the 1st down. And Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Lawrence. Over the middle, complete. That's Robinson. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 28. We're scoreless after 1. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now Lawrence sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. 1st and goal from the 6. Now Lawrence. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Ross Blacklock. Never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the 1st half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
On 2nd down, It's Robinson, and he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. Well, another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in his first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And Taylor's throw there should have been intercepted, but it's incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. No move to pull the offense. Taylor's going to go for it. They're going on 4th down. It's Taylor. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Meanwhile, a throw by Taylor is incomplete. Taylor incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Taylor to throw. He's got his target, Chris Conley. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Here's Taylor. Then he finds Danny Amendola. And they're going to have a 1st down, and they're in field goal range as well as they're down inside the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start out in Indy. Seattle in town for the season opener against Indianapolis. And it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the football team at home at FedEx Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. DeAndre Hopkins, a touchdown reception. We continue on with the check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jags. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, for the Texans, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after that first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in Week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are. What I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You know, you just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. Just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3rd down now, and those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
And we see plays like this quite a bit when you allow a quarterback to get out of the pocket, because it's really easy for a defender to lose sight of the receiver. His eyes often go to the quarterback maneuvering, and this time it led to a big play.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Taylor on 3rd down, throws incomplete. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve, 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Lawrence looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Laviska Shenault, the intended target.
And it's 3rd and short. It's Robinson, and he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays.
Ingram churning. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And that, Charles, you'd have to think a pretty avoidable mistake.
You're exactly right about that, partner, because it all comes down to covering up the football. Look, turnovers are going to happen. They're inevitable. But in a tie game in the 3rd quarter, those turnovers can change the tide of the ball game. And now it's up to the defense to try and bail them out. Got to take care of the rock.
Here's Robinson again on 2nd down.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack and to stop him short of the 1st.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and this Texans defense stands tall. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
On 2nd down, Taylor's throw incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target. 3rd down here.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
They'll roll him out right. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Now the Texans will burn the 1st of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. Sliding out of the pocket. Amendola has it. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the sticks make a drastic shift forward. Steps away to his left. Looking deep now for Amendola.
And that nearly their 1st pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. He'll buy some time right. That is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Tyrod Taylor, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Texans have taken the lead.
Well, I think we both got to thinking the team that scores the first TD may be the one to win this football game, and here we go. Our first touchdown, and it comes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it's a testament that both of these defenses were able to hold the line this long, but now, on the other side of the field, they've got to be thinking if they got it done, we should be able to punch one in ourselves.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it was capped off by a Tyrod Taylor touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
It's complete to Robinson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Lawrence.
And this will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
And his throw is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
So a nice throw there. And, CD, I have to think you've been impressed with what you've seen thus far here in his debut.
Now, you know me well. I have been impressed because what I've seen is him starting to understand how to play the game in a short amount of time. The dazzling plays, they'll come with experience. But right now, we're seeing him handle the game, make all the smart plays, and the right reads.
2nd and 8. Again, it's Lawrence.
Looking downfield for Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Lawrence will throw.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Jenkins. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Taylor. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Again, Taylor going to hold on to it.
And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Rolling to his right, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now it's Taylor. They'll roll him out right. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Taylor to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Amendola again, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Throwing now is Taylor, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. Here's Taylor. Keeps himself upright. Flush to his right. Escapes the defender. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. They'll run here with Ingram. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here we go, a big play in a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal. They'll run for it. It's Ingram, and he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. This defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars down by 2 touchdowns. A little under 30 seconds remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Able to connect with Chark, and he's out of bounds, so give him about 9 as that stops the clock. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you do read man covers, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 3rd and 1, it's Lawrence. And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Shaq Lawson drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, and now I'm listening to you. So for the Texans, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.